How we doing? Good. Yeah. We drinking tonight or what? Yeah. Drinking beer? Yeah, I can't stand it. My wife likes it, I can't stand it. I grew up a lot like David, out in the middle of nowhere, where my family drank like the gas station 30 rack special, whatever they could get the cheapest. And I wish that was a joke, but that's why I've never liked it. Personally, I like vodka Sprite, like so. It's smooth, it goes down nice. I don't have to feel ashamed or embarrassed in the mornings, you know? Because like, I don't know if you've smelled beer lately, but like if you actually take a second and smell it, like, it just smells like domestic abuse. So like I said, it goes down real smooth, wake up in the morning, don't have to feel bad or embarrassed, I just have a black eye and an apology. No, I really did grow up like real backwoods. Like, have you ever tried Ancestry.com or like 23andMe, any of those sites? Yeah, you have? You're brave. I won't even do it. That's all I'm saying. I won't even try. Because like, I like to imagine my family tree with branches. Because like, I go to family reunions and I can see both sides of my family. Like, it's that kind of backwoods, you know? Do we believe in expiration dates around here? Mixed reviews? Yeah. So I feel like the mixed response is like the correct response, right? Like there's things like milk, by all means, personal experience, take it out of the fridge, give it a smell, give it a taste, I don't care about the date, right? Like if it tastes okay, it smells okay, I'm okay, we're good. But there's other things like, before they even expire, you just see them and you're like, not worth the risk, right? Like condoms, for example. Yeah. On that same note, I do have 4 kids. Yep. They are currently at home identifying as orphans. You do not have to feel bad about it. They are all animals. Even a cute one, right? So like school started back up and we got to go to open house. That was so much fun, right? Because I go to open house and my youngest, she's in kindergarten this year. And her teacher comes flying up to me right away. She's like, oh my God, I am so glad you're here. Your daughter, such an angel. She is so well behaved. She is so well mannered. She shares with everyone. Like, if I just had like 10 of her in my class would be wonderful. The problem is I know my kids and nobody has ever talked about my kids in this manner. So I know this lady, she's got to be talking about their own kid, but I don't want to insult her. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, I know you got a few kids. That, you know, I've never heard that. Like, just to be clear, who are we talking about? Oh, come on now, you're Cindy's dad. You're Cindy's dad. Oh yeah. No, I said Ira's my daughter. Oh. Thanks for coming. But like I said, I have 4 kids and they're all animals like that. The amount of time I spend at home saying the same thing over and over. Stop running through the house. Quit jumping on the couch. Don't hit your sister. For the love of God, get out of the kitchen. Stop asking me why. It just gets real repetitive. But I found like a parent hack last year. Did you realize if you take your kids to the library, they'll yell at them for you? My summer this year was amazing. I spent so much time at the lake, enjoying the sunshine, the peace and quiet. My kids were at the library. All good things coming to an end, you know. Summer ends, I get them home again. And it was really disappointing, because like I talked to them, highly don't recommend. I found out for 4 kids that spent that much time at the library, they're still pretty dumb. Like, do we know the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes? Type 1 you're born with, type 2 kind of makes its way in later in life. None of my kids were born with type 1 Down syndrome. Now I get it. That sounds rough, okay? But my oldest kid, the smart one, she comes running up to me a couple months ago. She's like, Dad, I gotta ask you this super important question. Sure you do. What's up? She goes, so I gotta think about this one. If you were born in Texas and you were a Texan, which I wasn't, And Mom was born in Texas, she's also a Texan. Definitely not. And then we were born in a different state that wasn't Texas, which they were. Would we still be Texans, or would we be U.S. citizens? Yeah, so needless to say, one, my kids are in public school, and two, we got our budget cut recently. So where they should be learning things like math, geography, English, they've been picking up on oddball things like what a lesbian is. To be fair, I did tell them that one. Yeah, I see the remarks. What most of you don't know right now is when I say 4 kids, what I really mean is I have 4 daughters. Yeah. That's a fancy way of saying I'm pro-lesbian at this point. Because like as much as I love my kids, when they start dating, holy shit. The amount of dick I'm gonna have to deflect at that point in my life. Like, don't get me wrong, I want grandkids at some point. But if I can get 2 of them now while they're young and it's early to just switch hit for the other team, where when they start getting older, half that dick coming through the door is just strapped on silicone. Life gets easier from that point, okay? My wife, bless her heart, she is not a lesbian. I've tried. But in recent times it's worked out real well because she started identifying as my personal service animal. There's a few differences, okay? A few differences, like one, working, no vest. She just takes everything off. I will never insult her by giving her treats, that's demoralizing. But I will give her a bone once in a while. Honestly, training was the hardest part. Because as much as she hated her shocking collar, she loved being tied up. Anybody here ever Google the crash rating on their car to see how aggressive they can drive? I have. I have a 5-star crash rating. It's pretty cool. And for the most part, that doesn't mean much, but now that I have good insurance, it means if you pull out in front of me, I'm going to speed up. Just for that insurance check. I have to give you a disclaimer, that is just a joke. And the only reason for that disclaimer is after the first time I told this joke, it took all of 3 days before my wife hit a deer and totaled my car. And I wish that wasn't true, but it is so beyond true. And she tells me like, oh my gosh, I didn't see him coming. When she stopped the car, 6 of his buddies were there cheering him on. There is no way she did not see him. But I will say, true redneck form, when she hit that deer, before she stopped, I was out of the car, through that ditch, chasing him through the field. Okay? Now, I got back to the car, and the conversation did not go my way. I get back to the car and she goes, well, where is he? So what do you mean, where is he? Got away. Well, that's unfortunate. Like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, there goes our dinner plan. I'm like, I'm sorry, I did not understand our dinner was just on the balance of whether I skipped too many gym days and could catch this deer or not. I said, did you ever think maybe if you hit him harder, he'd still be here in the road and I wouldn't have to chase him at all? Any of you that are married knows that's not the right argument to have. We went home that night like everything was normal, and then I got gaslighted like mad in front of my kids. She comes in, nice side of mashed potatoes, nice helping of corn, a little bit of broccoli. That's it. She was so mad at me, she only made side dishes. We're all just sitting around the table like, what happened? She goes, well, your dad skipped too many gym days. Yeah. Needless to say, growing up, I drove a lot of piece of shit cars. The kind where you just leave the keys in hoping someone will steal it. Then every morning you come out disappointed because it's still there. Because nobody knows that you gotta tap the starter with a hammer a couple times before it'll actually start. Yeah. I got this car when I turned 16, 2 months before Christmas. my dad gave me a flashlight and a hammer as the seasons changed so that I could still see what I was doing. Yeah. So come Christmas time, he's like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, well, there's snow on the ground. It'd be nice if I had a starter for my car. We could end the shenanigans. So come Christmas time, I get this long, heavy cardboard box under the tree. So I'm like, oh my God, he listened to me. Like, this is amazing. So I unwrap it with all the excitement that you would imagine just to open the box and find another hammer and a flashlight. He said, I got you your own. You can give me mine back now. Yeah, true story. So it comes without saying, after that, I spent a lot of time at like salvage yards, like horse heads pick apart, Don's Auto Mall, stuff like that. Some of you understand. But like you go to these salvage yards and you walk around and people will just break whatever it is they need to get to the part that they want or need. And after walking around and seeing that for so long, it's just solidified the fact for me that I never want to be an organ donor. Yeah. I do have a nicer, newer car aside from the red hood that it currently has on my black car. Which means I've upgraded. I now only have to go to like AutoZone once a month. Yeah, that's a win. Anybody here go to AutoZone often? Maybe? Enough? So I had to quit going because I ended up with a stalker. Yeah. You ever get a stalker before? They're really hard to get rid of. That's all I'm saying. Like, I've contemplated divorce, but my wife keeps telling me no. Yeah, true story. I met my wife at AutoZone. I went in for some washer fluid. Yeah, I missed so many red flags. I set my washer fluid on the counter. She's like, hello. I'm like, hi. She's like, I need your name and phone number for your warranty. Okay. This must be some really good shit. I was wrong. A week goes by, my phone goes off. Or at least that's what I realized a week later, is that my phone had gone off. A week later, I realized she had sent me a message that night. Who missed the bigger red flag? Something about this said, let's keep trying. No. Does anybody have sleep apnea? Yeah? Lucky. I wish I had sleep apnea right now. Because like, just that option to be able to go to sleep and unplug and let fate take its course. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my wife and my kids, but at the same time, I just want to crawl into their room at night and shave all their heads. As it turns out, I'm in upstate New York auto tech at this point, which means in the wintertime, I come home every night with more salt on me than a McDonald's French fry. The only thing I want to be able to do when I get home is take a shower. I don't think that's too much to ask. But I will say, sorry, the buzzing, I can just hear it. And I don't know where to stand.
It's not because of your location, the cables need to get changed.
There. I moved my hand. That'll work for a minute at least. But yeah, so like, New York State Auto Tech, I look like a fucking French fry, okay? The only thing I want to do when I come home is take a shower. Immediately, without fail, when I turn the water on, I have 2 inches of water in the back of my tub. When I look down, it just looks like Chewbacca is living in my shower drain at this point. No matter how much I ask, no matter how much I beg or plead, nobody ever knows whose hair is in the drain, and nobody will clean it out. I ended up with a small victory a couple weeks ago because I asked, like, can you just please, whatever you do, clean your hair out of the shower drain when you're done. I came home, my wall looked like it needed to shave. All of my kids, my wife included, have hair down almost to their ass. And it is not thin, it is thick as shit. Okay? Like, there is still chunks of conditioner in the drain when I pull the hair out. And it used to be that you could just walk around and figure out like who it was? Because like you just smell the kids to see who smelled clean. Like you just smell them and you're like, holy shit, you're dirty. And then you go over to the next one and you're like, wow, you do need a bath. And then you come up to like that one that's supposed to be your little sweetheart and you smell her and you're like, you smell like Irish Springs. Not only is that your hair in my drain, but you're using my shit. But you can't go around smelling your kids anymore. Thank you, Biden. So I've had to come up with like my own creative way to figure it out. So now on the weekends, I just clean the entire shower out. I collect all the hair, and I make voodoo dolls. It's made Sunday morning breakfast real interesting. Just walking around the house with a doll like, hey, does this one look like anybody? Anybody want to gamble this one? You take that one kid that you think it is, and you just give them the stare and stab it. Yeah. Half the time it's their sister from the other room. You're like, bye. But because of that, my wife made me some really fancy stickers. I have voodoo doll stickers, and they are all holding signs that say, make showers drain again. They are free after the show if you want them. Come get them. Thank you. Yeah. My oldest kid is in middle school this year, and she has started taking Spanish, which means we have started taking Spanish. I don't think she understands how bad my English can be. Like I said, I went to one of those podunk 4 towns to make one schools growing up. So my education level is like 10th grade at best. I graduated 10th grade at best. It's bad enough that their mother told me I'm not allowed to help them with their English. When I asked them why, they said, I want our kids to sound educated, not like a backwoods hillbilly. I would say I was offended, but I realized how true it was really fast. So my kid comes up to me the other day with her Spanish spelling words. And she's like, I need your help. I'm like, what do you want me to do? She goes, all right, you see this side? This is all the Spanish words. Cool. This side is all the English words. I'm like, all right. Pretty simple. Looks like you got it. What do you need my help with? She goes, how do you say these Spanish words? You got me screwed up. That's what it is. I told her, I said, listen, I can't help you. We both know this. If you really need help, you got 2 options. 1, grab my phone, dial a 1-800 number, and press 2. Wait for him to come online. If you don't want to talk to people, that's fine. Grab the TV, turn on closed captions, go watch Dora with your sisters. You're going to learn more there than I'll be able to teach you. I have a lot of women in my life, and I know this sounds sexist, but I'm a little bit sad recently. I just got a female manager for the first time. That's the right response. I'm not sad that she's a female per se. I just feel like all my hard work is down the drain now. Because like, do you know how hard it is as a man to literally just please a woman? Between like cycles, hormones, the cosmos, we are just doomed. And for the last 5 years, I've been taking lessons on how to blow a guy for a promotion. And I know how that sounds. 5 years is a long time to learn that. Well, the lessons were free. My wife gave them to me, and it's hard to understand people when all they ever do is talk with their mouth full. So now I have this talent that's just going to be wasted because I'll never be able to use it. So, I do a lot of driving, and I end up with a lot of intrusive thoughts, okay? Like, do people still listen to breakup songs anymore? Yeah? Did you know the song You Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story is probably the most underutilized breakup song out there? Oh, wow. Yeah. Cannibals, right? Do you think they look at anti-vaxxers as organic meat? Yeah, I really think they do. Anybody here have security cameras? Security cameras growing in popularity? Yeah. I have outside security cameras, but recently I had to get them inside because my kids are hellions. It changes your parenting game, let me tell you. When you got cameras inside, you can ask them what happened, but it changes the whole game. You just say, listen, you have until I find the video to tell me what happened to your sister and to tell me why she's crying. Total win. It makes parenting so much easier, unless they lie and you don't know it. But like, it just makes parenting so much easier. But there's downsides to it all. Like 3 months after we installed these cameras, I had the realization about how many sex tapes I now have. We have cameras everywhere. The kitchen, the living room, the kids' room. It's not the kids' room, that's just where we make the kids. But we call it the kids' room nonetheless. It's kind of peace in mind also, because like David, I grew up outside in the 90s, so like the shit I did as kids, like I have to think about my own childhood before I try to discipline my kids to figure out how bad it is, because I recently learned from, according to my wife, so I mean learned is a strong word, but I was recently told no matter how many mattresses I lay on the stairs, it's unprofessional, it's unadulting to penguin slide down them. Nobody gave me that rule as a kid. But we played a lot of stupid games as a kid. Like we weren't Simon Says. It was 3 of us home alone latchkey kids. So we came up with our own game. I'm the middle child with 2 sisters. My older sister was a bad influence. We had a game. It's the name, I can't change it. We called it Super Coochie, okay? That's a bad name to say that you're playing with your sisters. That's all. And then when you try to explain it to people and you're like, so to play the game, one of my sisters got on their hands and knees in the grass. Not like that. See, that's what I'm saying. This is a real game. There was 3 of us, so one of us would get on our hands and knees in the grass. The other 2 of us would get bicycles. We would ride up to the end of the driveway, come flying down as fast as we can, and try to hit the kid in the yard. Now, there's winners and there's losers. If you hit them and you win, your prize was getting off your bike, giving it to the person you hit, and crawling around on the ground on your hands and knees. Yeah. Do you know how often I lost? All the fucking time. I'm not dumb. Are we Google people or do we like Amazon Alexa? Google? Yeah, so we're a Google house too. But my wife uses Google way too much. Like, we have Google outlets. I don't have control over it. I just get up in the morning and I'm not allowed to turn the TV on because it's not 7. Like, what the hell is this? But she uses it for everything. She's got real bad ADHD. So like, when people watch our kids, sometimes, they get freaked out by all the alarms that go off. Like, she's got one that goes off at 9 a.m. that says, hey, it's 9. Do you need to get anything out for dinner? Just in case. Whenever we fight, I should mention, I like to delete her alarms because there's so many. I never tell her which one, I just do it at random. That one affects me, so I leave it alone. The ones that don't affect me, I'll get rid of. The ones that affect me, they're staying. She's got one that goes off at noon that just says, hey, it's noon, have you eaten yet? That's another one that stays. She's got one that goes off right before 3. It says, hey, kids are about to get off the bus. I'll get rid of that one. Whatever. Surprise. She knows they exist, you know. But there's one that she has that goes off at 5 o'clock that always worries me. That just says, hey, it's 5. Dad's coming home. Yeah, what's that about? Yeah, that's the one I delete the most, I'm just saying. Because I want to know what I'm coming home to. I almost want to see my real life. Not enough to like hide her meds, but like... My dad is not a Google person. My dad has Amazon Alexa, the whole 9. But my dad is not real tech savvy. So he's on our Prime account. We had to set it up for him. But it's led to some challenges because my dad lives at home. He's divorced. Whatever. True story, last year, I'm on my way to a show, and my wife's phone goes off, and it's a text message from Alexa. I'm like, all right, that's weird. We don't have it. Dead nuts, word for word, the message comes through. It says, when I get home, dinner better be ready, and you better be naked. He's broadcasting this message to his house. Like I said, my dad lives alone. I have no idea what this is about. I'm pretty sure it's not meant for my wife, who's phone is showing up on. But he lives alone. So I'm concerned at this point. So I call him and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, just driving home. Yeah, I figured. And so who's there? Before he could answer, my phone starts ringing. It's my kids. I'm like, hey, hold on. Kids are home alone, orphans. I gotta let you go for a minute. I gotta see what's going on. He says, okay. I answer the phone. My kids are home watching TV. I said, hey, what's going on? They're like, hey, we're watching TV, but this weird thing just came up on the screen. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, nope, that's Grandpa. Please, do me this one favor. Do not try to cook anything, and for the love of God, when I get home, have your fucking clothes on. All right, you guys, my name's Kyle Voorheis. Thanks a lot.